Today's tech news moves fast, but understanding it shouldn't be hard. That's why Snarful Solutions Group brings you Connecting the Dots, where we break down what's happening in tech and why it matters to you. Now, let's dive in with your hosts.
Welcome to Connecting the Dots. I'm Alex.
And I'm Morgan. Great to be with you on Tuesday, August 26, 2025. We're set to unpack some big tech stories today.
We are indeed, but first, let's quickly check in on our surroundings. Here in sunny Sacramento, it's looking like a beautiful day, high of 92 degrees Fahrenheit. Pretty nice.
Yeah, lovely here. Nationally, though, it's quite a mixed bag. Still seeing that intense heat and fire risk out in the interior Northwest right into midweek.
Oh, wow.
And then you've got heavy rain, thunderstorms hitting the Great Basin, the Rockies, and down into the central and southern plains.
Izzy weather map.
Very. And up in southwest Alaska, an atmospheric river. So lots of rain, strong winds up there. Really covers the whole spectrum, doesn't it?
It really does. Okay, let's look at the markets from yesterday's close, Tuesday, August 26. How did we do?
Well, the Dow Jones saw a little bump. It closed at 45,271.24. That's up about 34 points, or 0.08% daily.
Okay.
And for the week, it's looking decent, up 0.69%. So some positive movement there.
Always good to see the Dow ticking up, even if it's just a bit. How about the S&P?
S&P 500 also edged up slightly for the day, closed at 6,437.84, up just over 2 points, so plus 0.04%.
Right.
But looking at the week, it's actually down a tiny bit, minus 0.11%. So kind of flat overall.
Mm-hmm. And the ever-volatile Bitcoin.
Bitcoin. Took a dip yesterday, closed at 109,949.48. That's down about 181 points, or minus 0.16% for the day.
Okay.
And the weekly picture's a bit rougher, down 2.55%. So, yeah, definitely cooled off there.
Keeps you guessing, that one does.
Always.
Now, turning to baseball. Our San Francisco Giants. Well, no game yesterday, August 25th.
Right. Quiet day.
Yeah, a little bit anticlimactic for our update today. No cheers, no groans, just nothing.
Happens sometimes. Gives us a break from the stress, maybe.
Maybe. They'll be back at it soon. Okay, let's get to the main event, our Morningstar report. We've looked through the sources and pulled out the top tech stories you need to know about.
And the first one, well, it's quite disturbing. It's coming out of France. French prosecutors have opened an investigation into Kik, the Australian video platform. This follows the death of a content creator, Raphael Graven, who went by Jean Pomano online. Oh, no. Yeah, he was known for live streams near Nice that reportedly featured some pretty shocking stuff, apparent violence and humiliation. It's grim.
That sounds absolutely awful. So what's the focus of the investigation into Kik?
It's kind of twofold. First, they're looking at whether Kik knowingly broadcast, and that's the key word, videos of deliberate attacks on personal integrity.
So did they know what was being shown?
Exactly. And second, they're examining if Kik followed the rules under the EU's Digital Services Act, specifically the part about needing to tell authorities if there are threats to life or safety seen on the platform.
Right, the DSA. That's the big European regulation.
It is. And France isn't just waiting on the investigation. The Minister for Digital Affairs, Clara Chapaz, has already said the government plans to sue Kik for negligence.
Wow, they're moving quickly.
They are, claiming Kik failed to block dangerous content. Kik, for their part, put out a statement saying they're urgently reviewing everything around Mr. Graven's death.
This whole situation, it just screams platform responsibility, doesn't it?
Absolutely. It put a huge spotlight on that. How responsible are platforms for the content users create and stream, especially when it's this extreme?
And it's not just about what content, but maybe how much or how it's presented too. It's a fine line between, creative expression and actual harm.
A very fine line. And this case shows how regulations like the EU's Digital Services Act are really trying to draw that line more clearly and hold companies accountable, even if they aren't based in the EU.
That's a key point. Kik is Australian, but the DSA has reach.
It does. If your service impacts EU citizens, you're likely under its purview. It's a major shift in global tech regulation.
And for people watching this kind of content, it raises some serious ethical questions, What does it mean to consume videos of humiliation or violence? What's the impact?
Huge questions about desensitization, about mental health, about the kind of online culture we're all participating in, consciously or not.
It's a lot to think about. A really sobering story.
Definitely.
Okay, staying in France for our next story, but shifting focus. This one involves Elon Musk's platform X.
Yeah, another investigation launched by French prosecutors. This time, it's directed squarely at X.
What are the allegations?
Pretty serious ones. Organized tampering with the functioning of an automated data processing system, and also organized fraudulent extraction of data.
Whoa. Tampering and fraudulent extraction. That sounds significant. Where did this come from?
It apparently stems from information given back in January. It came from two people. A French member of parliament and a senior official in a French government institution.
And what was their concern?
They alleged that X's algorithm was potentially being used for foreign interference.
Foreign interference. Okay, that escalates things considerably. How's X responding?
Predictably, perhaps, they're strongly denying everything. They've called the investigation politically motivated and an attempt to restrict free speech.
Classic defense playbook sometimes.
And notably, X has said it will not comply with French demands for data access. So they're digging in for a fight.
What exactly did the French authorities ask for that X is refusing?
According to X, the authorities requested access to its core recommendation algorithm and real-time data for all user posts.
All user posts, wow.
That's X's claim. They also specifically objected to two experts named to review the algorithm, David Chavalerias and Maziar Panahi. X says these experts have shown open hostility towards the platform and even run an Escape X campaign.
So X is questioning the impartiality of the investigators themselves.
Essentially, yes. They're painting this as biased and unfair.
Have the prosecutors responded to that specific point about the experts or the data scope?
The Paris prosecutor's office did put out a clarification. They said they requested the algorithm for technical checks, not private user data. And they emphasized that the investigators are bound by secrecy rules. Trying to reassure, perhaps.
Okay, so there's some back and forth on what was actually requested. But the core issue remains this tension over algorithmic transparency and potential manipulation.
Exactly. For businesses, for politicians, anyone relying on these platforms for information or communication, this is huge. Can we trust the data? Can algorithms be misused for things like election interference?
Yeah, the implications for public discourse are massive. If foreign actors could subtly manipulate what people see on a major platform.
It's a national security concern, really. And for you, the everyday user, it makes you wonder, doesn't it? How much control did these algorithms have over your information feed?
Right. And is that feed being shaped in ways you don't even realize? It pits platform transparency against their claims of protecting free speech.
It's a fundamental conflict we're seeing play out again and again. A major tech company clashing with a national government over control, data, and influence. It's not just France, it's global.
A pattern, definitely. Okay, let's move from platforms under external investigation to a tech giant facing internal challenges. Our third story is about Microsoft.
Yes, this one involves significant internal dissent within Microsoft related to its business dealings with Israel, particularly during the Gaza conflict.
Employee activism seems to be a growing force in big tech. What's happening specifically at Microsoft?
Well, the company has taken some pretty notable steps to manage employee activism. Reports suggest Microsoft actually asked the FBI for help tracking protests.
The FBI, wow.
Yeah, and collaborated with local authorities to try and head off demonstrations. Internally, there are reports that emails containing specific words like Gaza, Palestine, genocide were flagged or even blocked.
Blocked without notification.
Apparently without notifying the sender or receiver. Interestingly, the reports claim words like Israel or cleverly altered spellings like P4Lestine were not being flagged in the same way.
That suggests a very specific kind of filtering.
It does. And there have been consequences for employees. The company deleted internal posts discussing the protests and fired some employees. Most notably, software engineer Joe Lopez, who interrupted CEO Satya Nadella's keynote at the Build conference.
I remember that. There's an active employee group pushing back, right?
Yes, the No Azure for Apartheid group. They're explicitly demanding Microsoft cut ties with the Israeli government and military, so the pressure is sustained.
How does Microsoft officially explain these actions, especially the email filtering and handling of protests?
Their public stance is that sending unsolicited email to large numbers of employees at work is not appropriate. They say they've set up internal forums for these discussions. And more broadly, they maintain they provide secure cloud services globally, that these are subject to ethical reviews and available to customers consistent with their company values.
What about the specific use of their technology, like Azure, by the Israeli military?
Microsoft has stated it found no evidence its Azure and AI tech have been used to harm people. However, it's been reported that Azure has been used by the Israeli military for various functions: administrative, combat support, intelligence. Deals reportedly worth around $10 million for support during the conflict. And just for context, we should mention neutrally, the current conflict began October 7th, 2023, with the Hamas attack, followed by Israel's response. As of May 2025, reports indicated over 52,000 Palestinians killed and 110,000 injured.
It's obviously an incredibly sensitive and tragic situation, and for professionals working inside companies like Microsoft, this whole thing raises big questions, doesn't it?
Huge questions. About employee activism, about where the lines are for free speech within a corporation, especially on deeply felt political or ethical issues.
What can you say? What can't you say? And what tools does the company have to control that conversation?
Right. And for the businesses themselves, it's this incredibly difficult balancing act. How do you manage global business interests, complex geopolitical situations, and the strong ethical stances of your own employees?
It forces companies to really examine their started values versus their actions.
Absolutely. And the digital communication aspect, filtering internal emails, that's a major point of concern regarding transparency and trust within the company itself.
If employees feel they can't communicate openly or that their communications are being monitored or blocked based on keywords, that can really damage morale and culture.
Definitely. It's a really complex challenge for corporate leadership in today's world, navigating these global conflicts and internal dissent simultaneously.
No easy answers there. Okay, that brings us to the end of our Morning Star report for today.
So we covered quite a bit: the investigation into the Kik platform in France, focusing on content moderation and safety.
Then the probe into Elon Musk's X, also in France, over alleged data tampering and concerns about foreign interference via algorithms.
And finally, the internal struggles at Microsoft, dealing with employee activism concerning its ties to Israel amid the Gaza conflict.
These stories, they really do connect, don't they? We're seeing tech companies squeezed from all sides.
Yeah, regulators are stepping up, governments are asking hard questions, and employees themselves are demanding more ethical alignment and accountability.
It really makes you think, doesn't it? As tech becomes even more central to everything, global politics, personal values, how we communicate, what kind of power should these companies wield?
And maybe more importantly, how do we ensure there's real accountability for that power, both in the public square and even within their own virtual walls?
Definitely something to keep mulling over.
For sure.
We're here to help at Snarful, so reach out on our website if you have any more questions. We'll catch you back here tomorrow for more Connecting the Dots.
That's a wrap on today's top stories. Remember, tech doesn't have to be complicated, and we're here to help connect the dots. If you've got questions or want to learn more, visit us at snarful.com. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next time.